So I normally go in the evenings, practical reasons, because I finish work, no one's going to be bothering me, and because it's tea time and you can learn so much, you know. Walking in, I've seen so many places, the squash is on the table, the table's laid, and somebody's in the kitchen serving up dinner and putting it on people's plates. That's not what I look for. So it's completely the opposite. So I'd have a conversation. Oh, what's for tea? Who was involved in doing that? Who's laid the table? Then if the stuff wasn't there, I would say, oh, who's going to lay the table? Anybody going to get involved in making a drink? And I would do a bit of I would do a bit of modelling for that myself as well. I would be looking at records, so just to get a sense, is it more than got up, had the breakfast, went to the toilet? Is there a sense that actually people are being involved in this stuff, however the recording system is? And I would say, oh, blimey, I saw somebody was watering plants this morning. That's brilliant. How did that go? Again, to reinforce it. Because you're right, people won't, I would not expect to see everybody just doing loads. I would expect whatever staff are doing, that they've got somebody with them. I think that's what I would be looking for, no matter what that was. I used to think, well, actually, obviously, medication and stuff, but actually, no, that's not true either. They can be involved in that. So whatever they're doing, there are some technical things like checking that food is at the right consistency. So somebody's got to have done the training. Which would normally be, you'd expect that to be the staff, wouldn't you? So that sort of health and safety type thing, staff need to check. But other than that, everything, they should be thinking about it. Or actually, no, we're not getting anybody to lay the table because we're getting them to clear the table. So that's how we're starting. So we're doing that one's, you know, John's doing forks and Jane's doing knives, whatever it is. So they've actually thought about it. So you might not see anything. So that's the other thing. You might not see anything, but there's a plan other than relaxing for the evening and going in your pyjamas. So there's people are thinking about it, I guess. So the common difficulties is people being creative. So people get stuck. So you might do some active support training and they lay the table. And that's all then they do. They don't think about, okay, they've laid the table now. What about putting things in serving dishes for them to carry to the table? So they don't think about extending it. They don't think about, actually, if they can lay the table, what else can they do? So, you know, if they can put stuff in the washing machine, you know, can they stick things in their drawer? So the common problem is that people do get it, but they stick on just a few activities. So people's lives are better, but there's still masses of gaps that people are still doing nothing. And the other common theme is that the more introverted you are, as somebody we support, and maybe timid, shy, the less likely people are to engage with you. So you'll get a few people, so if there's a house of 4 or 5, you'll get three people that people find it really easy to engage. They do lots of stuff, but those shy people who may be introverted, maybe have some additional physical needs or sensory needs, they tend to sort of get left. So it's actually, well, okay, you're doing this great stuff. That's when staff need help to think about, okay, well, what can I help Carol and Julie to do? How can I support these? Because it doesn't have to be the same. It doesn't have to be as much. So do you see what I mean? So they might think, because this person's doing this amount of stuff, then I've got to help Julie and Carol who are sitting in the corner do that. But actually, that's, you know, just tiny little bits really. Well, another problem, I'm not so sure it's common, is families. So I think it's really important to get families to buy into it and to understand what you're doing, what you're trying to do, and that you will still keep people safe. So I'm going to help your son make a cup of tea can be quite alarming if they've never been near a kettle, and actually without proper support they would scald themselves, no doubt about that, or using knives they might cut themselves without support. So it's just getting their confidence, because what you don't want to do is start a row that says you can't do that, that's not fair, you're being cruel. And actually, if a relative is going to be terrified about a kettle, there's so many other things you can do other than make a cup of tea. And you can do all the, the 1 cup kettle and all of that, but even so, that might still be scary. And it's in that person's interest to make sure their family are on board with it as well. So it's not bowing down to the family, it's about working together to the best results, and actually maybe they can do something less scary. And there's loads of ways of making a cup of tea without, parts of making a cup of tea without using the kettle. So